the biggest difference is with him was the holding of the breath. And you're the one that pushed me on to Wim Hof. I'm so thankful for it because I think it was like within the first week, I started to experience exactly what he describes in like the blood flow. You know, my feet were tingling, and I think I always told you this, but I had like you know, I used to like sweat at the bottom of my feet. My feet used to be cold, and the rest of my body's warm, and my hands would do the same thing. Like that started to go away like within the first week and a half or so, and I really begin to realize like it's the oxygen. Like we need to pump oxygen through our body. Like the shallow breathing we do on just our daily basis of just walking around and speaking and doing our normal things is not enough. We got to pump oxygen through our body. I never felt that before, even in the other breathing methods I did. Like he was the only one that like, and it may have just been like it worked for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that the others don't work. I'm sure they work just as good. There was something about his that connected to my mind.
Yeah, for the people that have no clue what the Wim Hof method is, basically the breathing exercises is one pillar combined with the cold showers. And right now, of course, you're talking about the breathing. So what you do basically is have 30 breaths, deep breath in, deep breath out as well to get all the carbon dioxide out of your body. And then after those 30 breaths, you just hold it. And after that, you breathe in again and repeat around, do 30 breaths and hold it in again. And I had the same thing, especially with holding my breath, is I get in this floating trance position where I can just control my body, which is crazy. I didn't have it in the beginning, but when I got familiar with the method and did it on a daily basis, like if my toe is hurting, I can just send all the energy to there and it's gone. And if you talk about this, some people will think you're crazy, but he's actually proving it now. Like science is you know is caught up to that, which is
It's
mind blowing to me. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You know what I found like most interesting is that I still can't really wrap my head around it. Is you let all of your air out of your lungs, then hold your breath. That I'm like, what? Like I've never really heard of that or thought of it that way, and like it works. And like try to describe that to someone. Like I'm going to tell you to hold your breath as long as you can, but you got to dump all the air out of your lungs first.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like normally you would think take a deep breath in and hold that, but no, let it out.
It's opposite.
Yeah. Hold.
How did you do that before the breathing method? Did you just, you know, like when you went to hold your breath, did you, and then held your breath?
I sucked at holding my breath.
Me too, man.
It's like 30 seconds and full on panic mode.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
like
it's like crazy.
Instant, like, yeah, I'm like 10 seconds in, I'm already shaking my knee.
Oh man, I was like, you have that Titanic? No, not Titanic movie. I don't know what movie. Maybe it's Speed. Do you know the movie Speed with Keanu Reeves?
I do, yes.
I think it's that movie where like someone is swimming through the water and he has to touch a button to reverse the engine of the boat. And I saw that, I was like, oh, if that was me, like everybody would be dead. Yeah, we're dead.
Sorry, guys. Like I'm gonna try, but we're dead. We got about 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the crazy thing is, it's not about holding your breath, right? With the breathing method, it's like you said, you get oxidated, the carbon dioxide disappears, your pH levels rise, like you get alkaline, and the acid gets rid of your body. Like that's the first thing, like in a physiological way, what happens to your body. But then also your immune system gets triggered because you're holding a breath. It's kind of like a stress. Like your body's like, what's happening? I need air, but we're not breathing. So your immune system, your adrenaline goes up, right? In that state of mind, when you think of something, you can direct that energy to any part of your body. So when I have a headache, like I also take a nap because naps are great, but I don't take an aspirin and take a nap. I do the Wim Hof breathing and I take a nap and it's gone. Like, how crazy is that? Just like a natural medicine, just thinking of it.
And it makes sense because, like, it seems to me that a lot of pains are formed because of lack of oxygen, you know? And especially when you get into, like, inflammation and those type of things. That I know that there's other things at hand, but I think the lack of oxygen directly correlates with that. And like, that was something I experienced right off the bat. And, like, you and I talked about this, but, like, you know, I've suffered from gout for the past like 20 years, and I may have had about a dozen attacks.
Could you explain
I had,
what that is for people that don't know what it is?
yeah, so gout is it's basically uric acid, and it builds up in certain areas of your body, typically in the joints. Usually, you're going to get it in your feet. That's the most common area. Some people get it in their knees, elbows, and hands. So usually in the limbs and in the joint areas. Uric acid. Doctor described it to me like this, and this is kind of how it feels if you were to try to put it into words. It's like a bunch of shards of glass inside of your joint. It's super, super painful. Literally, you can't touch it. And so I went through all these, went through doctors, and they test me, and basically they came to the conclusion that I produce 70% the normal amount of uric acid in my body, and it's hereditary. My father suffers from the same thing. And basically, like they say that there's really no cure for it other than like you got to cut out meat and all these things. And so I went vegan. I went all the way trying to get rid of this, and none of it worked. None of it worked. Now, fast forward, I get into the Wim Hof method. He starts to describe on how this could help combat uric acid. He specifically talks about it and inflammation. I think within a month, like to go back a little further too, like the very first gout attack I had was in my right big toe. That pain never went away. It was still there slightly. Like if I stepped on my tippy toe, I could feel it. Like within the first month, that was gone. And I'm talking like 20 years I've been dealing with that.
That's crazy. That's
Isn't it, man?
yeah,
It's mind-bending.
crazy.
It's mind-bending to me, dude. And then like, dude, I used to have these like weird bumps on my forehead, like pimples maybe or something like that. And those went away. And then I used to have like, I couldn't wear t-shirts, man. I'm not even kidding you. I can't have things around my neck because like, I get this like weird feeling around my neck. My grandma used to have it. That's gone. So I'm just like starting to begin to realize that it's like, I think that my body's just been lacking in oxygen in all these areas. And so like this, like whatever's going on in my neck and obviously the uric acid buildup and all that, like that's my body just simply can't defend against it anymore because I don't have enough oxygen to do so. That's at least how I make sense of it in my head, man. But how profound is that, man? Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I really still can't like think it's true, man. I feel like it's coming back. Like I've dealt with this stuff for so long.
It's like a fairy tale, right? Like good,
Right.
too good to be true. But it is true.
That's what it feels like. It's true. It's like 100% true.